That's in the budget.
I think it would be copies of ARP money.
Okay,
We bought two, one here, one of the, now from the senior center. One is doing, maybe that's two or three. Let's see.
Hey, you're freaking sick of it.
well, they're not gonna drive.
Five, time. So we. That's it. It's gonna be 60 degrees this weekend.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be okay.
I can't wait.
Oh,
All set?
I think so.
All right,
We have
Call.
to take a minutes.
Debbie Red
Online.
is online. Okay, cool.
all right, I'm gonna call the Marlboro Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 to order at 7 p.m. Present and seated are Susan McFarland, Louise Concadello, Joe Axlar, Anthony Bratz, John Rizza, and also present is Town Manager David Porter. First up is acceptance of minutes. First, we have our February 17th, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of February 17th, 2026, and I have corrections.
Please go ahead.
And you want a second?
I'll second.
Yep.
A second?
Motion made by Louise, seconded by Anthony. Corrections are.
Okay, here we go. Page 2. Number 6, where Dylan Bayot, it's the word should be provided instead of PROVED. And then next one, 7, Dr. Hageman, it's HAGEMAN,
Two places.
2 places. And then we have underneath Russell Salvador, he's got 2 L's on Russell. Next page, we have Dr. Hageman again at the beginning. And then now we're gonna go into the charge. So let's go down to the last paragraph on page 3. It should be the MESBC shall prepare an RFP, and then OPM firm as required to guide the committee. Okay. Next page, we have the 3rd paragraph. That whole section's up. Take that on. The Marlboro Board of Education has designated Amy Kurt. That whole paragraph comes out. We don't. know
Correct. Not part of the charge.
that. And then we're gonna go to page 5, the 3rd bullet. Applications will be accepted, which is number 9. Applications will be accepted beginning March 2nd for kayak storage, and triathlon passes can be purchased beginning May 1st, 2026. They get a pass so they can park their car and then practice their swimming at the lake.
Okay, and one more change, 1 page prior, and little number C, Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection Sustainable Materials Management Grant. In the comment there to remove unit-based pricing, not unit-based pricing. Okay, so motion by Louise with all of those corrections, seconded by Anthony.
One more comment. Didn't we move 7 after 8? Because we wanted to establish the charge before we appointed people.
The order is out.
Page 1,
Page 2.
page 2.
Didn't we want to establish
Yes.
the charge before
Yep.
and then appoint 2?
Yep, that is correct. Number 7 is later in the agenda. So it should be noted in the minutes as happening after the committee and the charge was established.
Okay.
So item number 7 has to move down to follow.
And then 8 becomes 7.
Yep. All right, so these minutes need to be fixed. Okay, so we have a motion by Louise, second by Anthony with a number of corrections. Any further discussion or corrections? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So moved and approved. And then next up, we have the minutes for our special meeting on Tuesday, February 17th. Pretty straightforward. We just went line by line on the budget. I will motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting for February 17th.
And I'll second it.
Seconded by Louise.
Susan?
Yep.
Susan, the minutes in the packet were ones that I quickly produced.
Yeah,
I just printed out and handed out your minutes.
Oh, okay.
They're not dramatically different, but if you want to approve your version, I'm happy with either one.
It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
yours have slightly more detail.
Okay, well, then we can tear out the version that we have in our packet, scratch that motion, let's start again. And look at the one that, David provided to each of us. So this is again, minutes of the special meeting of the Board of Selectmen on February 17th. Again, it just shows that we were all there, with, David, and we did a line by line review of budget items. So I will motion to approve
Would this be the second edition?
this is just the new version that was just handed to
Okay,
you.
so it'd be the.
So the other motion is dead and not acted upon.
Yeah.
There's a new motion to approve this version of minutes submitted by me for February 17th.
Thank you.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Joe. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that's approved and done. Thank you. Thanks, David, for the clean copy. Okay, public comments. If you're on Zoom and would like to make a comment, you could try using the little raise your hand feature, and we can call your name. You can state your name and address for the record. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. All right, I'm not seeing any hands go up, which is fine. Everybody's cozy at home by the fire. I'm still not seeing any, and I'm not seeing anybody unmute, so I'm just gonna go.
We do have one person in the back.
Go ahead, sorry. You're all by yourself. I forgot you were here.
Yeah. Derek Blunt, 76 Finley Hill Road. So I just wanted to stop by again and, thank you guys for the conversation last time. And I appreciate, you guys moving the agenda item up and engaging us with dialogue. As you saw, it was something that was very important to the organization. I did have a couple follow-ups that I wanted to discuss with you guys as well. Number one being that we have a board of directors member who is professionally trained in field management. So we had talked last time about Marlboro Elementary School and getting that field basically overhauled to get into shape for our spring season. Obviously, we can't provide a formal quote yet in terms of having that field repaired, but based on his judgment and his prior experience, he was estimating that it would be somewhere in the range of $5,000 to $15,000 to overhaul that field. And that would get it into, perfect playing shape, whereas then from that point on, assuming normal maintenance, we wouldn't have to invest that level of expenses in that field again. Secondly, we are planning our annual field cleanup day at the beginning of April. We're targeting April 4th, just to give you guys a sense of what the league puts into that. Typically, we are out there, several guys with leaf blowers doing leaf cleanup at both Marlboro Elementary and Park Road. We are aerating Park Road. We have a former board member that volunteers and brings his machine out to aerate that field. We are doing mound repair. We are cleaning out the shed that's there. We are hand weeding the baseball field, the batting cage. We are spraying for any weeds out in the batting cage. We are clearing brush with, weed eaters and brush cutters. We are reseeding spots of Park Road where it's just bare dirt and it should be grass. Cleaning up sticks all over both of the parks. Last year, we laid a bunch of gravel in one of the dugout entrance ways where there was a pretty big, hole and quite a bit of water that would pool up there and, prevent the players from exiting and entering the dugout properly. So, there's a lot of work that goes in by the volunteer members, players, parents, to help support those fields. And then lastly, just following up, I had heard, and I'm not sure if it was you guys received this, but I guess maybe the youth soccer organization may have also sent an email either to Parks and Rec or to the Board of Selectmen possibly, or maybe to, I'm not sure.
I don't recall seeing anything, but.
Okay, so I can follow up and find out exactly where that came from, but one of our other board members had said that the youth soccer program had also had some complaints about the field over by the firehouse field as well. So I think again, like, I'm not, I can dig into who that email went to, but I think that just further highlights the need for, either a different schedule in terms of maintenance of the fields or more of an adherence to, a schedule that already exists for those fields, because I think there's just, identified by several organizations, just a kind of substandard, state that the fields are existing in right now. So I appreciate you guys again, we have the ability to partner with the town and the board of selectmen and the town manager, to continue to find ways to appropriately use league resources as well as town resources to help get these fields into shape. But, any further, follow-up or conversations that you guys have had in the past 2 weeks, we'll be very interested to hear about. So,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm not seeing anything else. David, do you want to admit Mark Paul is sitting in the
Oh,
meeting room? I
yes.
think we gotta go touch that screen there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna move ahead on our agenda. I don't see any hands, so I'm gonna move off public comments and get into item 4, additions to the agenda. What do we got?
Should we add field maintenance to unfinished business?
Yes.
Say we're gonna talk about it.
Yes, motion to add field maintenance to item number 8. We'll make it 8A, under unfinished business. Motion by Anthony,
I'll second it.
second by Louise. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? No? Okay, great. You just talked about the incidents on Route 2 tonight as we were walking into the room. Can we talk about the rescue truck and what we gotta do and all that?
David,
I don't know, do you wanna do it in selectmen updates or?
Let's do it,
town manager
yeah, let's do it.
updates, or-
selectmen's updates.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Okay, all right, so we'll cover the fire rescue truck under selectmen updates. I'm just gonna make it a motion then, Joe, so I'll motion to add the fire rescue truck update to item 10A. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Louise, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, cool. I have one, I will really admit that I have not clicked on ClearGov because I don't know how to use it. And I don't know how to navigate. So when I was talking with David, and I think when we were talking about the agenda for tonight, I was asking if maybe Tony could even just do a Zoom one night. It might just be like 20 or 25 minutes, but we'll like schedule a meeting where all of us can participate. If you're already an expert, God bless you, you don't have to be there. But we'll open it to the public too, because I think the more people who know how to use it, the more they'll be able to self-serve, find the answers to their questions, see all the data. So I would like to add an item to discuss ClearGov training. Maybe we can put it as new business item 5D, as in dog. So
Also do that.
motion to add the ClearGov training as item 5D by Susan, seconded by Anthony. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, cool. What else? All right, okay, let's keep going then. Item 5, new business, budget. I'm gonna give it to you, David.
All right, I did one of the, it's the legal size paper is a larger version of the fleet list that you might stand a better chance of being able to read. Jim Grossman was going to join us tonight, and he recently learned that a dear childhood friend is in the hospital and was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So he is visiting him because they don't know how much longer he has. So I will do my best to walk you through this list. And this is basically the list that I produced, or the comments here in the middle are notes that I wrote while Jim and I discussed the 5-year vehicle replacement plan. So they're ordered by license plate number. Every town in Connecticut is given kind of a unique license plate. So MO is Marlboro. Then obviously there are these numbers. The column, I guess it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the right starts with 12, 10, 7, 11. That is the order in which Jim recommended that the vehicles be replaced. So vehicle 1, which is a single axle dump truck, a 2008 International, is the truck that we have on our list to replace, and we can discuss that using speed camera revenues. Number 2 is a 2012 Ford F450. You know, in my notes, it says sandblasted, but cab remained rusty. And he's proposing to replace it with an F450, but he wanted to spec it with a 6.8 liter gas motor, a stainless body, and a plow. Would you like me to go through each of them, or do you have any questions? How would you like to handle this part of the discussion?
So I've got to just cross-reference our other list. Number 1 is the one we talked about using our available funds for. And is number 2 the other one that was in CNR for this year? Or
Yes. Yes, it is in there.
Okay,
And
that's
there
that
was
one.
not the offset like there was for the first one. So that is in the budget.
Okay. All right, so if those are the 2 that are current, I guess we can save this. The rest of it for further discussion, unless people have items you want to talk about now.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
Is the fire department apparatus a part of this? Even though this is just town garage, do we consider fire apparatus as the vehicles that we may or may not have to replace in the future?
Yes.
And then if that's the case, should they be a part of this list?
Yes, we should add them to this list, and we should also put them on the 5-year capital plan.
Okay.
Okay, so David, we're gonna give you that action item then. Where does that fire truck list come from? Do you already have it, or do you need it from somebody?
I can get it.
Okay.
I have it.
All right, so we're gonna add
Thank you.
the fire apparatus. Is there anything else outside Public Works and fire apparatus that would fall into this category? David, like, do we have any other town vehicles that would
We
need to
have
be in the
town
5-year
vehicles.
plan?
We have town vehicles at the senior center. They are all new enough that I don't think that any of them will be replaced in the next 5
Okay.
years.
All right. Well, for consistency and having it all here, do we just want to put them on here, and then they're obviously going to be either unranked or ranked at the bottom because they're new? And then we'll
Yeah.
have all the vehicles? Okay.
We can certainly add those,
All
yeah.
right, cool. All right, any other discussion on that piece? All right, where are we going next? Are we going
You want to do
capital? Sure.
Okay, so. You should have received this sheet. It says March 3rd up in the top right corner, and it's the capital budget. The first column is the town manager's recommendation. The second column is the BOS recommendation. It is filled in right now, but you know, based on our conversation tonight, we can obviously change any of those numbers. I would like to bring several things to your attention. One of them, and I believe I handed this out to you, for this single axle dump truck that we had estimated would cost $195,000. I got that number by asking Jim how much he thought that it would cost to replace the dump truck, so that was a placeholder. We did a little bit of digging. We found the quotation. I guess it's not an invoice, but it looks similar, except that it says quotation at the top from the last dump truck that we purchased in 2021. 5 years ago, it was $194,228.
Yep.
So then, and I pulled up the state contract, and of course they have addenda for each year. So I went back and I looked, okay, before we bought a 2022 truck in 2021
Mhm.
for, that amount, and you can kind of see what the prices are there. The chassis was $99,790. Okay, then I went to the most recent addendum showing the current prices. That same chassis is $124,364. So I am still I still need to get a formal quote from Freightliner of Hartford, but I ballpark estimate, I don't think we're gonna get a truck for 195,000.
Yep.
I think it is probably going to be closer to 225.
Okay.
Ouch. If we need the additional money, where would you get it from?
Is there anything else on here that's flexible?
Well, so far, or as of, I guess, December 31st, the speed camera revenue is at 212. And even though that revenue, thankfully, and by design, has slowed way down, we're not issuing nearly as many tickets as we were initially. It is not zero. There is still a little bit of revenue coming in there. So, we could potentially have a little bit more than 212. And then, if we needed another 10, 12, even $13,000, we could tap into either the public works or the general government CNR reserves.
Thank you.
So do we need to change this line item to be, instead of 195, the 225 to reflect it?
Yes,
Or are
I
we
think
leaving it
so.
as 195 and then going to find the money later?
No, I think we should change it to 225.
Got it, all right.
Will we change it to
225, so that's the
225.
revised estimate or quote. Okay.
The other issue that I want to bring to your attention, and I think I handed it out. If I didn't, I apologize. Peter did get one estimate to replace the roof on this building on Town Hall. Based on this estimate, I think we're going to get several more.
Okay, uh-oh.
But you can see in this budget, we had thought that the town hall roof replacement, we put $50,000 in as a placeholder. The first estimate that we got back, now admittedly, because of the snow, they were not able to get up on the roof or do that. So they basically looked at an aerial map and estimated based on that. So it is imperfect for a variety of reasons, but the estimate that they gave us was $140,640.
Right.
David, in that estimate, is there a number of squares that they are proposing?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to give this to you. I thought that I printed it off for everyone, but yes, they have, the number of 4 1/4 inch polycarbonate board and how many. I mean, it's a very detailed estimate.
Okay. Right, well, we're obviously gonna get multiple bids. No matter what,
Absolutely. So I don't know that we necessarily need to change that number to 140. I think we will find a better number than that or a lower number than that. But that also gives me pause that maybe we won't find someone willing to do it for 50.
Is there anything else on this sheet that's got wiggle room? Like, and I want to ask the the southwest egress, that was the thing that Dr. Hageman talked about, like, we're already working on that. Is this that money, or is there any other money that's coming out of like the current budget where this 160 has any room to help with the roof? Or is-
To the best of my knowledge, they may have done some design work, but that 160 is what they expect the
Okay.
construction to cost.
All right, so
So I
that
don't think there's much
okay.
wiggle room there.
I'm
Now,
not sure if what she said was,
One question that I would like to ask, and I haven't yet, and I apologize for that, the dry tank sensor fill system replacement. I am absolutely all in favor of the school having systems that work and not having to manually fill tanks every day. That sounds miserable. At one time, when I seem to recall during a presentation about the HVAC project, it seemed like once the project is done, that the school will be a combination of electric heat pumps and propane. I thought they were transitioning. And so if that's the case,
do we,
does it make sense to repair or upgrade, the dry tank sensor for an oil system that, at best may only be in use for a couple of years?
I guess that's a
Again.
question for John, right?
Yeah, that is a question for John, and I apologize that I have not asked him yet. So I will take that as some homework.
Yeah. David, is propane available on the bid list, the state of Connecticut bid list? Because we could buy home heating or diesel fuel or heating oil for municipal buildings through the state bid process. Is propane included in that?
There is a state contract for propane, yes, that we can piggyback off of.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I was looking at the propane.
In terms of the food bank exterior painting, do you think that there is any room to bring that down? Like, do you think it will cost $30,000 to paint that house? Or could we do it? Do you think we could reasonably put in 20 or 25 or?
I don't know how much it costs. I have vinyl. I know just interior painting is ludicrous. So I don't. Does anybody have a?
Should we compare the cost of vinyl siding versus painting it and see what the difference is? There's an expression out there that vinyl is final.
Yeah, but if we're gonna have a cost benefit discussion later and sell it to somebody else, I think we just wanna paint it. I don't think, we should definitely look at the cost of each. But I mean, vinyl, you got the labor and the materials.
Dave, is there any estimates if we were to repaint it, how long the paint would last before we have to do it again? Has any of the town crew or anybody had that conversation with you? In other words, painting is an ongoing thing. We all have homes that have to be stained and painted. So is that a 5-year paint job? Is it 10 years or any idea?
Just speaking from personal experience, having sort of painted my own homes or had them painted myself, typically it's roughly 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, well, we need data. We need data. I don't know how to change it without data. I'm hoping to do less than that.
We get an
but-
estimate for painting and an estimate for siding or.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
Have we looked into like tech schools yet? Have we had a chance to do that yet?
Haven't.
That's a way to get a cheaper paint.
yeah, I was
Because
kind of thinking
you're
the
also
same
paying
thing,
for
as finding
material
another.
At that point, you're not paying
Yep.
for labor.
I guess if we're also looking for places to pull back or postpone, the public works roof replacement, we could put that off for another year. The part that was leaking has been repaired. Or we could do it in phases. My understanding is that right now that roof is a patchwork of different materials. Part of it I think is rubber. I think some of it is like an asphalt, and then some of it is actually shingles.
Well, so can we just give ourselves we've got the not to exceed in that section of building maintenance of 190. And if we can get, a better quote or work with the technical schools for the food bank painting, fantastic. We shift that money, over to the town hall roof. Same thing with public works. If we get quotes and they say, oh yeah, we can easily split this job into two and it's not going to drive the cost up. Again, there's mobilization and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Then maybe we steal a little bit of that money to make sure we can do the town hall all at once, because it is one roof.
Yes.
And then we could do public works half and half, but we work within our not to exceed of 190 for this budget.
I think that's perfectly fine. What I'm wondering is, is this an area that we should try and reduce that 190 down to something lower? Because as it currently stands, our residents' taxes could go up pretty significantly. And that's obviously a scenario that we all want to avoid.
Right. I'm all for reducing that.
If we approve the funds for the traffic enforcement on the dump truck for say 200K, and then could we
It's
set
already
a,
taken out, Anthony.
it's already taken out?
He already took it out of here,
No, it's with the single axle dump truck. No?
but it's not in the
Right,
total.
but if you look at the very bottom of the page, that, that is under other, 195,000, so it doesn't actually
Yeah, to-
it doesn't actually add to the
Oh, yeah.
part that influences the tax levy.
Yeah, there's an asterisk
Never mind.
right next to it.
It was a great idea.
Yeah.
Let me put this idea out on the floor just for 1 second. Real estate, no matter what building it is, if it's this one or a school or a house, the maintenance always costs us and the taxpayers a considerable amount of dollars. I look at the food bank and I'm wondering if we could relocate that particular activity somewhere and liquidate that house
Yes.
and return the money to the taxpayers. I mean, it's used once a week or whenever they go to get
Twice a
the
week.
food there. And to liquidate it and bring that money back into the,
Yes.
Joe, I
plan
think
to-
you're preaching to the choir,
Yeah.
and I think that is in large part why we're looking to, obviously as economically as possible, but sort of repaint it because it is peeling. It not only looks bad, but we want to, preserve it so that it's not damaged. But I think that one reason why that's sort of the only thing that we're proposing to do to it is in preparation for
to liquidate it.
a possible sale, obviously assuming that we can find an appropriate place for the food bank. We're not just gonna kick them to the curb.
Okay.
So I think what we're gonna do with it is for another night. So the question is, what do we wanna do with these building maintenance numbers right now? Are we gonna leave them at the 190, or as David just proposed, are we gonna push out public works roof or cut it down to 40 and do what we can with 40? What's
Hey,
worse? the
building
town hall
maintenance
roof?
is almost a must. You can't let the buildings, the real estate depreciate, be shambles, because it's just.
It only gets worse.
It's a simple pay me now or pay me later.
Yep. Well, that tells me we gotta cut somewhere else then. David, you said that the public works roof, that there were leaks, repairs were made, so it's not currently leaking?
To the best of my knowledge, it is not currently leaking. Ask me next Tuesday after the rain we get this weekend.
Yeah, and then, do we know, like, is it a 25-year roof and we're in year 30, or is it a 25-year roof and we're in year 24 and that's why we're looking at it? Do you know where?
These are
So,
it's the patchwork, so.
It seems like different parts of the roof were done at different
No idea.
times.
Mishmash.
The building itself, I think, is almost 70 years old. And so I don't know how old different parts of the roof are.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thoughts, proposals?
One thing that I would be willing to do, and in fact would enjoy doing, there are still opportunities, that there are still companies out there who will finance new roofs, particularly on municipal buildings, if they are allowed to put solar panels on them for, 20 years after.
Right.
And so perhaps we could, maybe not tonight, but maybe, after we get some directive from the Board of Finance, reduce that 80 or put it, partially reduce it and put more, some of it up on the town hall roof replacement to make that a little bit more realistic number. And then we say, we still want to do the public works roof, but we're going to try and talk to one of these companies that, we'll let them put solar panels on it if they'll fix the roof.
Okay,
Good idea.
okay. So do we wanna, knowing that the 50 might go up and we might steal from the 80, are we leaving the numbers as is for now and we're pursuing those quotes and alternative approaches, solar, et cetera, or are we cutting this 190 now?
Up to you. Maybe we leave it for now, but with the understanding that if this budget process proceeds like the last two that I've been involved in, the Board of Finance is going to meet and say, okay, Board of Selectmen, you have to cut X. So this is something that, we know we could come to if we needed to.
Okay, all right, so let's in the interim, let's try to get some quotes and get talking, even if we can get rough order magnitude numbers for both town hall, and if there's somebody that's like, oh yeah, 50 is gonna be enough if you let us put solar or whatever, see if we can get that data, so by the time we have marching orders from the Board of Finance, we'll know better what we can do here without losing the project.
Sure. I just to be clear, I don't think that the town hall roof is large enough for someone to be interested in doing solar on that. I think the public works garage is
How many square feet in this building?
probably 6,000, maybe 6,500.
A is for ask, and it's bigger than my roof, and they want to sell it to me. So let's ask. Let's ask. Just the trees around it are little, most of them. It's worth looking at both.
I know
We
that
ask the question, and if they say that's insane, we would never do that on the roof, fine, now we know.
I know that we have explored solar for my business here in town. And after we really crunched the numbers, it was not, as good as it appears to be.
Mhm.
Okay.
But how long?
Every project's different.
How
Yeah.
long ago was
Yeah.
that though?
Well,
Now
that
they're,
was 2 years ago.
that's it?
Okay,
All right.
And
all right,
some,
let's keep,
and just one more comment.
Yep.
Sometimes as you add the additional solar panels to the roof load, the roof cannot hold the additional weight, because when the roof was designed and made, it was designed to hold a certain amount of snow, a certain amount of other features. We start adding this additional weight, and structurally, that may have to be changed. And there's that additional cost that changes the value of the project.
Mhm.
So.
okay.
Good point, Joseph.
All right, so for firm changes, we have changed the single axle dump truck from 195 to 225 based on our best guess of what it's gonna cost. And David, can you follow up with John about that dry tank sensor thing? Like, do we
Yeah.
really need it, or can we save the 20 grand there and limp along until we switch?
I certainly can.
Okay. All right, so now are we going to the detail sheet or the sum sheet? You gave us two other handouts, one that's smaller, that starts with ERP account code, and then the proposed budget single sheet.
So the line item detail is very similar to the one that you received before, except that in my effort to make ClearGov the one source of truth and deal with that, this is the one that corresponds with ClearGov. So that's why I'm giving it to you.
So all of those line items are the same ones that we went through in our last meeting.
Yes.
Is there a way for me to correlate the totals from the sheet we worked off last time to this? How do I do that?
There is a sum total at the bottom, 29,960,000. And what you can do is subtract out the first two lines, because that's the local board of ed and the regional school district number 8. You can see it's $9 and $11 million.
Okay,
And so if you subtract out those, then that would be the town budget, including capital. And if you are so inclined, the capital budget is on the last page. It says reserve fund. That's what it is labeled,
that's
but
capital.
it's 1191013599010. That is the capital budget.
Okay. So we've got 29,960,024, and I'm subtracting out the school up at the top.
You got the calculator, give us that number when you're
And
done,
I'm subtracting out the 11,
please.
558, yeah. 327.
Nine, one.
That takes it down to 9.1 million, and then you said now I'm taking out this reserve fund of 1.459
Yes.
minus.
Let's see if you hold on, same number. Maybe
That's
like-
7.697 million.
Well, let's check that other summary sheet and see if that,
That's 3.3. What was wrong?
okay,
The
and then,
salary piece.
then you have to subtract out the debt service, which is 813,257.
Hang on. Minus, where's that service?
It's on this, summary sheet. I mean, it's also on the detailed one, but it's a whole bunch of
813,257.
numbers, yeah. 813,257,
Okay,
and then the contingency is 125,000.
okay. 6.75.
Yes, so that, if you look at the summary sheet, it says town operations, 6,759,256. So that should be pretty darn close to what you just got. Hopefully exactly.
Sorry, if I look at which sheet I see it,
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm trying to relate it back to the line by line that we went to last time. Which was, our draft operating budget,
Yeah,
which is 3.37 million. And you just said, if you look at F summary sheet, then I lost you.
oh, so
Make the person.
you took the 29, almost $30 million, and you subtracted off a whole bunch of numbers and you
Yep.
ended up with 6.759.
Yep,
And I was just saying, if you look on this summary sheet, where it says town operations, about 2/3 of the way down the
Yep.
page,
okay,
and you go over to,
Yeah.
the 26-27 proposed budget, it is 6,759,000.
okay, I'm with you now, I got that. So now the last thing I'm trying to do is get from that 6,759 million to this draft operating budget that we went through last time, which is 3.37. So this 3.37 plus what gives me the 6.7? Personnel?
Yes.
Yes, it would be personnel, and the detail that I gave you tonight includes both of those. Because in clear cut, they're both part of the operating budget. Let me pull up quickly here. Oh, my battery did not die. Okay,
I'm down to a discrepancy of 138,000. Just trying to reconcile what we did last week to here, that's all. I'm not
Okay.
saying your thing is wrong, I'm just saying I
yeah,
haven't
so,
found
so
all the pieces yet.
the personnel budget should be $3,331,404.
One more time, 3,000,000,
$3,331,404.
and that has the part-time senior center assistant in it, or no?
Yes, that includes all four of the proposed, additions.
Senior center driver, public works, and town manager assistant?
Not the senior center driver. It includes the,
Part-time.
pay adjustment for the senior, the human services director,
Yep,
the part-time senior center assistant,
yep,
the, public works cleaner maintainer,
yep.
and the assistant to the town manager.
So what are the next steps in this process? When is the Board of Finance gonna give us our marching orders? Tomorrow night at their meeting?
That's what I would expect. They've already met with, they did the Board of Ed, last night. And I would expect that tomorrow night they will, begin zeroing in on sort of an appropriate mill rate and will, give both the Board of Ed and the Board of Selectmen sort of their marching orders to cut.
Anything else?
Further discussions, questions?
How do these line items relate back to this? Like, so. Planning, building, like professional services, where would I see that here?
It would probably be under the land use department unless I'm just trying to look quick there, unless there's a planning. I believe it would be land use, and what did you say it was?
53,050. Professional engineering services,
What is the full code? Does it start with 112.3012 or is it?
we just got the 53,050.
Oh, okay.
There's a $59,000 difference between what we went through line by line and this one down the operating budget.
Say that again, Anthony?
So between what we went through line by line last two
Yep.
two weeks ago and this smaller version for the operating budget, there's like a $59,000 discrepancy.
In which
Upward.
direction? Upward? Okay. So
I'll take a lower.
yeah, no, that would be a welcome, change. Although then I'd be worried about what I left out. So I'm trying to recall back to my conversations with Tony. I suspect that most of that difference is probably a change in the compensated absences.
But didn't we count for that already in this, or did we up or?
I think that we upped it a little bit, and then I think that, we also upped our, overtime budget.
Well, that wouldn't be included in operating expenses, right? That could be under personnel. Or is that overtime captured in one of these line items?
I believe it's captured in one of these line items.
Personnel?
There's a whole bunch of personal stuff on the first page.
So the compensated absences are on the first page under appointed personnel, and then I will find where I believe it's down in, public works or town garage. There's another compensated absences line down there as well. And then
Yeah, but we have that captured here, in this, the one that we went line by line. 45 to 45.
okay, and then here it is, overtime funds. It's in town garage. Oh, of course I didn't, second to last page. I'm sorry, I didn't put page numbers on here. Town garage, overtime funds, $51,000.
Okay. We're closer.
Yeah.
$8,000. No.
So, David, I'm looking at the, budget timeline that you gave us at our January 20th meeting,
Yes,
and it shows the Board of Finance meeting on March 16th, that final budget proposals are due from us and DOE and RAM.
yes.
So that means tonight, absent a special meeting between now and then, we have to tell you what we're proposing. So any changes that we're making, we need to do it right now, right? If we're changing
Realistically,
anything on here.
I think that we, at least for the past 2 years, and I think even before that, we have needed one special meeting during the budget process, and I suspect it will be after the Board of Finance meets tomorrow. And then,
Okay,
we kind of go through and say, okay, what do we do with, we had some of these discussions on the capital budget, and then we can say, okay, maybe we
Got it.
don't need quite $51,000 of overtime, because even though we've gone wild the last month with snow, it doesn't snow this much every single winter.
right.
And then I can also talk to Tony about compensated absences. Maybe we can,
Okay,
trim that a little bit, and hopefully we can, hit a number that the Board of Finance, gives us.
okay, but basically bottom line, and I'm talking to the board now, before we leave tonight, we should choose a time for a special meeting, because probably tomorrow night, we're gonna get some feedback and marching orders, and we're gonna need to meet before the 16th to actually either lock in what's here or make whatever changes we're gonna make and lock it in. Correct?
Yes.
You want to try to figure that out now? Is it next Tuesday?
I am upstate New York next Tuesday.
What days are you in town?
I drive back Tuesday night, so Wednesday, and then wife is having surgery on Thursday, so Thursday night will be available, but
Are you out Monday too? You're traveling?
yeah, driving up Monday and then driving back Tuesday night.
Can we manage a lunchtime meeting on any of these days? Or lucky Friday the 13th? That's always a good one.
Yeah.
Who the hell wants to have a meeting on a Friday?
Thursday, March
I
12th.
mean, you could say whoever wants to meet about the budget.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I have to do to keep my taxes low, or
That's March
Yeah.
12th.
I'll meet whenever.
I have another board meeting on the 12th, so it would have to be earlier. Like it would have to be at 4 o'clock.
I can do that.
4:30. I don't know, Anthony, I'm thinking, looking at you and your schedule, and
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know what time you leave your place.
I'm flexible.
Is,
This is important. I will be flexible.
so Anthony, what would work for you on the 12th?
My wife's getting surgery on the 12th.
Oh, that's the day.
So I will be at the hospital.
Going through this process before, I think the marching orders, I think that's a good way of what the Board of Finance gives us, is going to dictate how much time we're going to
Right.
need to
Yep.
go into this. So
Fair enough.
either we're going to need a lot of time or we're going to need a little bit of time. And
Well, and the good news is we've done a lot of detailed work in the
Yeah.
last few weeks, right? So once we have our marching orders, I hope it's not gonna take us too long. How about Wednesday, the 11th? 4 or 5?
Yep.
Is that doable?
that's good with me. Yes.
Yep.
John?
I would
Yep.
prefer 4 if it's okay with you guys, because I got somewhere to be that night and it gives me a little bit of extra buffer. Okay, so,
What's the date?
so that is Wednesday, March 11th.
3/11/26.
So what is the best thing to do here? Motion and set it now and cancel it if we don't need it? We're gonna need it,
You're
right?
gonna
We're gonna
need
need it at some
I'm sorry, what
level.
time was it?
All right,
4 o'clock.
all right.
4 p.m.
So, yes, so I'm going to motion to set a special meeting of the BOS on Wednesday, the 11th at 4 PM.
Second.
Second by Louise. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay,
We're gonna talk
great.
about the budget.
Yep. Special meeting. Budget is the agenda.
3/11/26 at 4 o'clock.
You got it.
Here.
Yes.
Yep.
Can we use it here? Is this
Yeah.
open? Yep, okay, perfect. All right. Okay, excellent. All right, we got a plan. Okay, well, I guess we can all tune in to Zoom tomorrow night, hear what they have to say. Okay, are we ready to move forward?
Yes.
Next item is, approve the use of funds collected through the automated traffic enforcement safety device program to purchase the dump truck. Do you want to do that now, David, or with the number being Lucy, or it doesn't matter, you just need our authorization of what's in there now?
Let's wait until we get a firm quote. And then at that point, you can, it will probably exceed what is available in the speed camera fund, but hopefully not by very much. So
Okay,
then we can, you can make a motion and say, okay, we're gonna use this much money, and then we're also gonna vote a recommendation, because to use the CNR money, you have to do a town meeting.
okay,
Do we need a motion to table this until we get that info?
yeah, let's do that.
I'll make a motion to table 5B until we get
Yep.
a quote back.
Seconded. All right, motion made by Anthony to table 5B to our next meeting, seconded by me. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, so that would be 317. Or the 11th, if it's a pressure cooker. Okay, next up, RPIP, Shared Finance Director. Over to you, David.
All right, so you have in your packet the frankly very brief application that we submit to the state for funding. As you can see from here, over the course of the 3 years of the grant, if we get it, and I anticipate that we will, the RPIP will save the two towns collectively approximately $416,000. So we will split that evenly with Woodbridge, which means that we would the grant would cover approximately $208,000 of the cost of employing this finance director.
Is that over a 3-year period, or is that per year?
That's over the 3-year period.
period.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to confirm that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Somebody was having heart palpitations. Okay, right? All right, so David, you need our authorization and we can submit this application?
Yes.
Do you need anything else besides that, or it's ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay, I will motion to approve, and authorize David to apply for the Regional Performance Incentive Program for the finance manager's position.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Joe. Any discussion or further questions? All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? No? All right. Approved and authorized. So let it be done. Awesome. Okay, and then, our added item 5D is ClearGov. I would just love to get a 20-minute or 30-minute Zoom meeting. Again, we can open it up to the public. We'll notice the meeting where Tony can just, hey, this is where you log in. This is the home screen. Go here, go here. Do you want to drill down? This is how you do it. Board of Selectmen, you might like this view. Go here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we've all used these programs and there's always like a better way to do it. And I would love for somebody to tell me that and not go hunt around for an hour and a half to figure
Or
it
a
out.
year from now, discover something. You're like, I wish I had known that all.
Yeah, exactly. Why have I been doing it this way all this time? This is
And
crazy.
we'd be able to do it from different locations, for example,
Yeah.
if Anthony is
Zoom in.
and,
Yeah,
So could,
Wherever I'm at, yeah.
yeah.
could I suggest, so far, I believe Anthony is going to be here on Monday and sort of every Monday here thereafter, unless something changes, on any given week. So maybe we could do it on, Monday, the 9th. He could be here. If you wanted to come here, you could, but, we would probably just use this screen here.
Oh,
Provide a Zoom link and you could either come here or you could do it from wherever you are. And that way we would also have a video of it so that
Perfect.
you could watch it later if for whatever reason you
Yeah.
What time?
are unable to make the meeting.
Can we do like a lunchtime? Is that convenient for people who are working for a living?
mhm.
I'll be driving. If there's a recorded link,
You can, oh, you can watch it after.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll be boarding the hotel room.
okay. All right, so do we need to call that a special BOS meeting?
it could be
Is that a
training.
big
I
name
think
or
it's
what is
training.
it? Or it's just training and it's open to everybody? Cause anybody can come. Anybody from any one of our.
The more the merrier. Yes, absolutely.
And March.
Um,
Right.
Yeah, we will probably, notice it as a special BOS meeting, so there's an
Okay.
agenda and everyone knows that it's happening.
Perfect.
But we will plan on doing it Monday, March 9th at noon. Is that okay? 12:30?
Yeah.
Yes,
Noon? Okay.
okay. Clear, go,
I'll call them safely from the car.
training.
Sure.
All right, so just to make it official, I'm going to motion for a BOS special meeting with a topic of ClearGov training, to get that out to the public. Anybody can participate via Zoom for Monday, March 9th at 12 noon Eastern. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Louise. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Great. All right, David, let's make it happen. That's awesome.
Great.
So that would be 3-9. Love it. Thank you. Okay, I know we already, okay, never mind. I screwed myself up. Next item is employee resignations, new hires. What do we got?
No additional resignations, so that's good. In terms of new hires, Officer Brad Waite, who is our new part-time constable, passed his pre-employment, physical, psych evaluation, all of that, and he will be starting, next week.
Okay.
How do you spell his last name?
I think it's Waite,
Okay.
Officer Wait, you said?
Officer Waite.
Brad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have two open positions. Well, we have an animal control officer.
Yes.
So where are we with that one?
I need to, pick up the conversation with East Haddam, and if that does not bear fruit, then I will call my counterpart in Glastonbury, and see if they would like to, cooperate.
Do you need any motion or authorization from us, or are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, so you said East Hampton or Haddam?
It is East
Could be
Haddam, but
either
they
or.
also
Got
currently
it.
provide services to East Hampton.
Okay. All right, so East Haddam is our number one choice. If that fails, we're gonna talk to Glastonbury.
Yes.
Um, And then we also have two positions at Public Works.
Yes, we are accepting applications. We've received, not many, I think one or two, hope to receive more, and, we'll do interviews in a couple of weeks.
I have a comment.
Yes.
In reference to some of the key positions that we have here, what's the feasibility that when we do these interviews, that we have people who are fluent, who know that particular nature of employment, be a part of the interview process? In other words, they'll sit as a board and they can see different people and talk to them and say, this individual is good, he knows his stuff, or he doesn't know his stuff. So sometimes the interview board should have knowledge of the individual or the nature of the work that we're
Oh,
looking for. What are your
absolutely.
thoughts?
Well, I always do that.
Anybody?
I mean, when we hired the senior center director, we convened an interview panel, including someone from the state agency on aging who happens to be a resident,
Okay,
right? But we had people with subject matter expertise.
okay.
And that's,
So can we do that for Public Works then
Absolutely.
and get, like, I don't know, what do you do, like a 3-person committee and get like a DPW?
yeah, what
From
I will
this
probably do
next town?
is call, Hebron and or East Hampton
Okay.
and, you know, ask if their DPW director would be willing to come help us for a couple of hours.
Okay,
That sounds.
okay. Do we need to do any kind of motion or make that official, or we can just have a selection committee?
Just do it.
Okay.
Just,
I hire people,
just
Okay.
do it.
so I will do it.
Okay. Do you want anybody from here, or do we need anybody else other than a Public Works person, just so that they don't, you know, people can snow an interview. So you want somebody who speaks Public Works language.
Yep.
So I love the comment, Joe. Do we need anybody else? Is there any other, what other expertise do you need for a Public Works
I mean,
person?
there are, I like to include, you know, a couple of other department heads who will be working with them. So I typically get some folks, from this building, along with me, and then we get sort of the subject matter expertise if it is a position that we're lacking.
Cool. Okay, so a department head or two and somebody from one of the other towns who's Public Works and you. Okay, cool.
Let me ask this question. If any of us, one of the 5 of us would like to either be a spectator, be not a part of it. I mean, not be on the actual interview committee, but just to be a part of, to see the individual or to see the process. Are we invited?
No.
Take some time to think about that, David.
No, like that. Huh?
Sorry,
To get it,
I need to interrupt you.
yeah,
I believe, so there is precedent, you know, going back to the, human services director. I think that I did invite at least one and maybe 2 selectmen to sit on that interview committee. That was a very large committee, and sort of the feedback that I got from some of the people who applied was that it was kind of intimidating. We had like 8 people in the room.
Oh, that's too many.
And it really was kind of overwhelming. That being said, Joe, if you want to be a member of this committee, I'm willing to talk with you, but as a general rule, we don't, we try not to let the committee get too out of hand.
Yeah,
Thank you.
agree.
Okay.
8 is way too many. Agreed. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we got constable, animal control, Public Works. Is there any other openings?
That is it for
That's it for
right
now.
now. Yeah,
For today.
That's enough.
that is
Cool.
enough.
All right, cool. Boards and commissions, resignation, appointments, and reappointments. And I saw one in here.
Yeah, you have a copy of an application for the MESBC that I received just yesterday. Why it was not in your packet.
If I may, if I can say something.
Yeah.
Can we wait? There's a couple more people that I know that are going to apply. We didn't get it in yet. And we can do it the next meeting?
Who's that? Oh,
Can you read it?
I would be okay with that. I want the best of the best. I'm not saying that Patricia's not the best. Probably would be the best, but
I know.
How many?
We're gonna have.
Just have
five
one more.
full.
We
have
just
five
have,
full.
yeah, we appointed 4,
Right,
We have
so we
four
need
now.
1 more full and 3 more alternates.
okay.
And maybe we could hold it to a 17th. We'll get the other application tomorrow, we'll just click it.
All right, so, want a motion to table this until next time?
Okay, I'll make a motion to table the application for
NSBC.
NASDC.
also good.
Okay, motion made by Louise and seconded by Anthony to table this to our meeting on the 17th. All in favor?
Yeah,
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, table. 2, 3, 7. Okay. Any resignations or we're okay? For boards and commissions?
None that I am aware of. Last time, you already had heard of the, alternate on the finance committee, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. All right. And we have no applicants, I take it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Board of Finance?
Are you aware of any? I
Well,
haven't.
it's coming.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, it's like herding in cattle, you know,
Mm.
just do it, you know.
Okay, unfinished business, number 8. Item 8A, field maintenance.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, you've been extraordinarily patient.
It's riveting, isn't it? That's good stuff.
Glad someone is.
So, David, you and I talked about, when we were talking about the agenda for this meeting, we talked about basically going out to bid. I don't see any reason why, again, any person could bid this work as long as they have the insurance required and all of that. So we must have like a process where we just like put out like, hey, this is a 10-week assignment from this date to this date.
Yeah, we
They're done?
can certainly put that, and frankly, I think given the scope of this particular work, it would be great to find someone local. I mean, I think we could put it in the River East. And
Yeah.
find it that way, you know, get a local landscaping company,
Yeah.
or, I mean.
Pretty sure we have
correct me if I'm
several in
wrong,
town,
I'm kind
right?
of the young kid who's,
There's many in town.
For which?
for like the mowing,
The mowing.
Team maintenance.
The mowing. So we will hire, David and I were talking about, we're gonna solicit quotes for like tick control. We wanna get that to a professional that has all the right equipment for that. But mowing, we can just bid it out and just do it as a 10-week thing. We're not gonna hire a new person at Public Works for a job that takes 10 weeks. What are the exact dates of the season again? Can you remind us?
Yeah, so our opening day, the first games are April 25th. Practices
Yep.
should start, I would say, I mean, it depends on when
Snow.
when Parks and Rec opens the
Yeah.
fields
Okay.
officially. Typically, it's anywhere between April 10th and April 15th is when we
Okay.
try to begin practices.
So if we said April 5th through, what is it? June 15th, June 30th? When does the season end?
Yeah, so the season coincides, the end of the season coincides with the end of school.
Okay,
So it would be essentially, yeah, the end of June
Yes,
is when
end of
the.
okay.
The 17th is what came up
Right,
recently.
The 17th, yeah.
18th is the last day.
But with the maintenance required for other sports, so for example, soccer continues
Yeah.
all summer.
Yeah, they do.
So whoever we get
Is
as
that
a
the same field
subcontract.
or a different field?
They're different fields. So for our organization, it would be Marlboro Elementary School and
Yep.
Park Road across from Bush Park.
Right.
And then the soccer field, they have, I believe, Farley
Farley
Field,
Field,
and they also have the field over by the firehouse.
right.
You get West Road.
Right.
We just take like a quick step back and look at it from like, do we have a list of all town-owned properties and then the maintenance schedule required for each property? And then like in a perfect world, what would it take to go execute that list? Like 2 times a week for a baseball field or 1 time a week and just like the cemeteries, the green, like what it's gonna take to go do all of that?
Depends on the weather, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm in a perfect world, right?
Perfect.
Florida sunshine everywhere.
Right, right. And boy, when it rains like 3-4 days in a row.
Yeah.
We're not
it's
gonna get
all
that,
in one day.
I understand, we're not gonna get a lot of rain.
So it's very difficult.
Putting into
Last year, I sit on
I'm
our
wishing,
30 years.
We certainly have a list of all the facilities, and could produce, you know. the-
like a
the-
schedule in a perfect
Yeah.
world, like we would do it on this day, with, barring any rain, but, just to get the idea of like, hey, we were supposed to be here for this time of day, but we got rained out, so we did X, Y, Z instead.
The key here is that we would have to hire a subcontractor and pay for it. If we have a rainy spring, we're gonna end up cutting the fields twice a week sometimes.
Yes.
And I've seen it come, later in the year, when it starts to dry out, he only cuts it once a week. If that, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Right.
How do we gauge that? How do we figure our finances on how many times this is gonna be cut? Are you looking for 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch? Could we go up to 6 inches high? In other words,
Right. I mean, for a baseball field, right? I mean, the
Correct.
grass has to be cut pretty low, right? Especially the infield. So the other, thing to consider as well is Park Road is used for our rookie division. So that is, let's say, call it 6 to 8 year olds, right? So you're not having kids hammer the ball through the infield here. So we would like the grass to be relatively short so that the ball doesn't, peter out before it gets to the pitcher, right? So I mean, that field needs to be kept.
So from your experience, how many times will we have to cut this
Twice.
a week? Twice, you're saying we should budget for twice a week?
I would budget for twice a week during the spring, yes.
Is the
Because
soccer
that-
season the same period that you're talking about and it's school kids? Or are you talking about a summer thing and something different for
I
these
don't-
other fields?
I can't comment on
Okay,
that. I don't
thank
know
you.
that.
I'll try and figure out who is in charge of soccer and get in touch with
Yeah,
them, because I know
okay.
some towns do spring and summer soccer and others just do summer.
Okay.
The only thing do you have fall ball or?
We do have fall
Yes.
as well, and we use Park Road for fall ball
Yep.
as well. So, historically speaking, we also have summer teams that are tournament teams, travel teams, but we in the past have used Hebron's Burnt Hill facilities in Vets Park for those.
All right, well, let's walk before we.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead. David, you don't need anything from us to put something in the River East and start to collect some quotes for a lawn mowing service for MES and Park Road for starters. Once we know what soccer needs and what their timeline is,
Twice a week.
we can do that too.
We have
Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. We have practices that will most likely be all 5 days at Park Road. We have that many teams in that division.
Oh, wow, that's
So,
great.
yeah,
So
so.
are your practices mostly in the afternoon or in the evening? In other words, if the maintenance guy or the land crew comes in and they cut between 9 and 10 or 9 to 11, you folks won't be there.
Our practices all take place after school time.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
and it's all during
Okay.
the week, games on Saturdays,
Yep.
typically in the, late morning, early afternoon. So
we
ideally,
can do this.
right, it would be cut, at some point, maybe in the early week and then some point maybe on Friday, so that for the Saturday games, it would be, good to go.
Good.
Okay.
The only other comment that I'll make about the tick control is that when we do put that out for a bid, make sure we're getting appropriate chemical licenses and stuff like that. for that.
Yeah, and we're not doing chemical, we're doing natural.
Right, because
That's-
they're kids.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
And the natural stuff works.
yes.
You don't have to use evil
I
chemicals.
get it done in my house.
Same here. Okay, cool. All right, so David, you got the ball on that to start to get some quotes and maybe get some connections with the soccer folks, figure out what they need.
Yes,
Um,
and I have your phone number.
is there anything else under unfinished business? We didn't have any sub items.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I looked at the last agenda when I created this one, and I don't think we had anything else.
All right, moving ahead with lightning speed to town manager updates. I guess we'll start with the communications tower and then hit whatever else you got.
Yes.
Okay.
The last communication I had with John Arthur was a couple weeks ago, when he promised to send a second amendment for us to review and approve. He said, we're still working with AT&T to nail down their equipment and space. I just spoke with them today, and the plan is to have the draft lease in their hands by next week. So I just need to kind of keep at the top of his inbox.
Daily, daily.
All right.
And then in other news, as the weather warms up and we get some rain, hopefully this snow will disappear quickly. As you know, the culvert at South Buckboard was completed last fall. There is still landscaping and restoration work that needs to be done, particularly in some of the homes that they disturbed or the yards that they disturbed. That likely will happen in May and June. Then as we prepare to bid out the Quinn Road culvert in the October-November timeframe, we're currently working on getting easements both from one of the homeowners and also the state Department of Energy and Environmental Protection.
You said that's Quinn Road?
That's Quinn Road, yes.
Your way to the dump.
Okay.
The kayak slips at Blish Park are available. We started renting those out, I believe, on yesterday. So far, I think half of them have been spoken for.
Wow.
So if you want to keep a kayak there, act fast. They won't be available for much longer. Spring program registration is open, and summer camp registration opens April 1st. That is, and I mentioned earlier that we have a new constable starting. So
Yeah, awesome.
that is also exciting.
Great
Cool.
news.
All right. Selectmen updates. Joe, we'll start with you and talk about the fire rescue.
Yeah, it was last week. The rescue was on its way to a motor vehicle accident on Flood Road. The vehicle, because of we think maybe because of the ice, we're not quite sure. We don't know exactly what happened, but the right wheel went off caught the side of the road, and caught, was a stump that had partially rotted, and the truck caught it. The vehicle had to be towed, and since it is a town vehicle, it's on the town insurance, and I hope David's been working with the insurance company, and he probably knows. I could tell you what had happened on that day. David will tell you how the problem is going to be corrected. Please.
Yeah.
So before we go
Go
to
ahead.
correcting it,
Okay.
what is our process for an incident with a town vehicle? Like, I'm assuming there's an incident report and all of that, like separate from an insurance claim. Like, do we do our own investigation when something happens?
Our police
Go ahead.
department, I mean,
Go ahead, David.
Okay.
there's a police report.
Yep.
That is the investigation. We also, as a matter of policy, sent the people involved, one, to get checked out to make sure they were not injured.
Yep.
And because it's a town vehicle, they also get a drug test.
Gotcha.
There was no reason to suspect
Right?
drugs, but we cover our
Standard
bases.
policy.
It's just standard policy and
Yep.
protocol. And then we also immediately reported it to the insurance company. We had it towed first to Firehouse 2, and all of the equipment, the chainsaws, the rescue equipment was pulled off of it, and that equipment will, on a temporary basis, be put on one of the other engines, which will function as a stand-in, rescue truck while this one is being repaired. Then, once we got all the equipment off, it was towed down to New England Fire Apparatus, which is the dealer that we purchased it from. They are checking it out. I have not scheduled the time yet, but I plan on going down and checking it out and talking directly with the folks at New England Fire Apparatus and kind of closing the loop with the insurance company. I do not yet know the extent of the damage or how long it will take to repair, but I will keep you updated, and please know that it is my intent to get it repaired and back on the road as quickly as possible.
Was this place New England Fire Apparatus? Where's
Where are
that?
they located?
They're down near New Haven. I don't remember if it's in New Haven or a neighboring
Okay.
town, but it's down in that area.
Okay, so it's in Connecticut.
Oh yes, it is in Connecticut.
Good, thank you.
So I'm assuming with the police report, drug test, we're following all of the protocols. That means there shouldn't be a problem with the insurance claim.
I do not anticipate there being any problem with the insurance claim. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm sure it's not gonna be cheap. Okay. So you said all the equipment gets moved to the other apparatus, so that means, cause Joe, you said as we were walking in the room tonight, we had a whole bunch of skid outs tonight. So that means our guys can respond, our team can still respond while we're waiting and losing, not having this truck.
Correct.
Okay, alright, cool. So we're not,
You know, losing a beat.
we're limping, but we're not crippled.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
We're
So
not out of business.
we can respond to, people who depend on us.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, cool. So I guess let's just, this will be a standing item then. We're gonna wanna follow it. Obviously, it's a big deal.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Let me ask David, this, you know, insurance companies and accidents do happen. Is there any way that we could expedite this because it is a public service vehicle and we do depend on it? Is there any way that we could have the insurance company maybe put this on the top of the pile and the guy who repairs the truck, what could we do? Is there any, easier said than done.
So I'll do my best. I think that there are a couple of things to keep in mind.
You're a dreamer, Joe.
First of all, our insurance company is essentially it's an intermunicipal insurance company, so they only insure towns.
Good.
So every vehicle, you know, I mean, first of all, they have fixed fire vehicles before. They're, you know, this doesn't happen to us often. It probably happens to them all the time.
Right.
So they are actually a resource to help us. Second, you know, I really need to get in direct touch and establish that relationship to get direct updates from New England Fire Apparatus. I don't know how long it's going to take. Certainly they exclusively do fire trucks and ambulances and that sort of thing. So
It's all priority work.
yeah, it's all priority work. I don't know where we will be in the queue, but I do know that we are a good customer. I mean, we purchased this truck. We also purchased the new engine that will be delivered in the next week or so from New England Fire Apparatus. So, you know, I'm sure they have a lot of good customers, but we are certainly among them. So they have every reason to do right by us.
Okay. So on behalf of the fire department, we do ask if you could, whatever powers you have to expedite this to the best of your ability, please.
I will deploy my formidable powers of persuasion.
Thank you.
All
Have you
right.
ever dealt with insurance and auto repair?
Pardon?
Oh,
Oh, it's
well,
not
just,
fun.
yeah,
Oh.
just in general,
It's
trying to
not
get
fun.
something,
Oh, yeah.
Not fun.
I'm
Okay. Joe,
well educated as our town manager is. It's a big deal.
we're on selectmen updates. Joe, do you have anything else before I run down the road?
We did, not exactly selectmen, but we did have a major house fire here in town last week.
Yeah.
Again, the good thing about it, no firemen or got injured, no pets got lost,
Yep.
and there is nothing that can't be replaced.
Yep.
We did have a surprise though. We needed a lot of water to put the fire out. That was way up in the roof area, and the volume of water collected on the first floor. And the weight of the water caused the first floor to collapse into the basement. Yes, we did have fire personnel working in the area before the roof had collapsed. So again, nobody got hurt, but to see this whole inside of the house collapse and everything come flying out, it was educational.
Wow.
The house was up for sale. The folks were gonna have a closing in 2 weeks. And that's what it is. We had great mutual aid. We had Glastonbury, we had Bolton, we had Columbia, we had East Hampton. Did I say Glastonbury? I mean, it was a real team effort. All the water there, since there was no hydrant nearby, had to be trucked in. So everything, so it was a water shuttle, thing. So
Yeah.
it was a team effort and, we did the best that we could.
Wow. Other selectmen updates, Louise?
Good.
Anthony?
I can't top that.
John?
No, I'm good. Well, let me join the fire department.
All right, let's see, next up is monthly financial reports. That's this, right?
Yep.
It is.
Can you walk us through, since it's the first time I look at this?
If I
Which one
can,
is it?
I forgot to bring my copy. I left it in my office, but I mean, basically, it looks very much like the budget and it just sort of shows you, what was budgeted, what we've spent year to date. I know that we're not yet, up to date, but Tony is working hard at, reconciling the payroll, which we use a third-party payroll provider, so that those payroll numbers in the next report are updated and accurate.
Do you see any overages or issues that you're concerned about, that we should be concerned about?
Not at this point. Where there are lines where we have spent, close to the full budget, it's often something where there's a subscription or we stock up
Yep.
or something like that.
And we do it once.
We
Twice
won't
a year.
necessarily have another, invoice on that line item. I mean, the only thing that I want you to be aware of, and it's fine, this is what the contingency is for, and we talked briefly about that. But we did, have to, on an emergency basis, have to replace both the, air conditioning compressors and the furnace at the senior center.
Okay.
So have you
That's the one
taken
that
that money out of contingency yet? Doesn't look like it on this.
Not yet. That's typically a journal entry that we would do, at the end of the year in preparation for the audit.
Okay. So how much was that? Do we know?
I would have to go back and look. I think the air conditioning was about 15,000, and I want to say the furnace was 18,000, but
Not all of it.
I'd have to go and check. Oh, no,
That's
it's
the whole thing.
not all of it, but it's still enough that it'll get your attention.
Oh, yes, that's good.
Okay,
But it's fixed. That's good.
and with our blizzard, how are we doing on snow removal budgets?
Again, Tony is working on that. It's also not terribly helpful, although understandable, and I'm thrilled for her. But the person who typically does our payroll is out on FMLA. She just recently welcomed a baby.
Ah, okay.
Which is wonderful. And we do have, a very capable payroll person from Chatham helping us, while she
Okay.
is out. But I look forward to getting you that data, in the not too distant future. We did pay a lot of overtime. I mean, our crew has been in almost every weekend,
Yeah.
or snow or ice or something else for the last,
Yeah.
at least month.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you for this.
Okay, cool. So this will be a standing agenda item now, and we can look at it and we can track these issues as they come and deal with them.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Correspondence. I have several, so if you guys don't mind, I'll start. So I got an email invitation from Sustainable Connecticut. There is and this is especially for the people on Zoom who may have been at the last couple meetings. There is a composting conference on March 19th at Wesleyan University in Middletown. It is free to attend, and I think if we don't want to do pay per use, unit-based pricing of bags,
Mhm.
and we're already doing composting and recycling, either teaching all of us as homeowners how to compost effectively, which means now you're not paying for composting, you're doing it the right way yourself, and or learning how and maybe finding grant money for municipal level composting at whatever location we do think is the appropriate spot, could be really cool. So I am publicly inviting anybody on here today or who watches this later to consider going to this event. I registered myself. And let's go see what we can learn and what we can bring back to the residents of Marlboro, and maybe we can save all of ourselves collective tax dollars by composting, either individually and or collectively.
Mhm.
So I got that one.
Could I just add one thing to
Yes,
that?
please.
I got a question for David. In our transfer station, we had brought brush down there over the last years, and it's archaic to burn it the way we have. We have involved chipping, et cetera, to, do we still chip? Or is it still our intent to burn? Because,
When you say it's archaic, what do you mean? I wasn't.
it means there are other ways of getting rid of brush other than burning it.
Brush burning is not an environmentally friendly thing to do.
Exactly right. That's
That's why there's like,
So
pretty
what
much you're
can
not
we
supposed to
do
open burn anyway.
in our transfer station with the big piles of brush that people bring in? Have we allocated money to chip it or compost it or something else in this direction, in the composting direction, or some other way other than burning it?
We have not, because I think in the past we did burn it. But then I believe we also used some ARPA money to do tub grinding.
That's what, yeah.
A year or so ago, because we had collected so much material. But that was expensive, both because tub grinding is expensive, and then they also had to truck it away. So I guess here's the question. I mean, do you, if we are not going to burn it, which is fine, I understand that's, not environmentally sound practice, then we should put some money in the budget to, rent an industrial strength chipper or bring in a service that will do that, because right now there's not money in the budget to do
Then
that.
that brings up the question is that maybe some of the grant money that maybe we could apply for grant money for chipping to go, not chipping, to go with the tub grinder or something. But, again, put it in the thought process, and that, maybe we should look at some kind of additional funds somewhere for that process, or collect revenue from people who bring the brush in and put it into an account or put it somewhere from the transfer station for tub grinding. Yeah.
So our current method is we burn.
I have given burning permits in the past for it, and the state of Connecticut comes down and they say that we are one of the few towns who still burn.
Okay.
And I think, again,
Yeah.
my favorite expression, we can do a better job.
I thought there was
I
a
didn't know
small,
we burned.
there is a small fee
There
for
is,
dumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Not very small.
But the fee, I believe, goes into the general fund at the end of the day,
Oh,
and that it is not designated for that
Right.
use. Am I accurate with that, David?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't recall ever seeing a
A dedicated,
brush fee or a brush fund.
thank you.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember seeing wood chips, you could go pick up free wood chips.
Yeah, that's
We
what
used to have a big huge area for wood chips.
I would take some free chips.
Did you get some?
No.
No? And, yeah,
So did you say there was a one time, whether it was ARP money or whatever, that we actually did chip them?
It was
We
last
did
year.
that once?
it was last year, and we had so much material, they brought in a tub grinder for like a week.
and
Got
you did it over there.
From Blip
across
Farm.
from Blip
Yeah.
Farm. Yes, right.
Okay, so there was a one time, do you know what that cost?
It was a lot.
It was
60,000,
tens of thousands of dollars.
a lot.
Yikes. Okay, well. To quote Joe, I guess we'll put some thought into that then.
Thank you.
I didn't know we burned it. I guess I'm disappointed. I thought we were chipping it. Womp womp, okay. All right. Let's see, continuing with correspondence. Also got an email from a Mr. Vince Costanzo
Mhm.
at Resource Lighting and Energy. We welcome the opportunity to meet with you to review options available to the town of Marlboro through the Eversource incentive programs. This project may qualify for up to $2 million in 0% on-bill financing. Marlboro has been designated as a micro municipality, making it eligible for enhanced incentive opportunities for the 2026 calendar year. we're able to move this project development along soon, we could get the new heating system involved and installed before the 2026 fall winter heating season. So I just wanted to kind of get this into the record and, get this scheduled with, I don't know if it's John from facilities or a member of the BOE, or if we, I mean, it's our building, do we pass this to the BOE or give it to the
So-
MESBC?
So John and I have already met with
Okay.
Vince several times.
Okay.
He has toured the building. and,
Okay, great.
Knows where everything is and all of that and is. So at this point, I think that
MESBC?
it's MESBC,
Okay.
I think they need to decide, okay, is this the type of
Okay.
heating system that we want, and is
Yep.
this how we want to pay for it?
Right,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get this MESBC meeting and talking fast. Okay, cool.
and she's planning end of March to set up a meeting,
Okay,
Holly.
okay, excellent.
So,
All right, and then I got this other, I mean, this is a marketing letter from Munibit. Schedule a demo to ensure ADA Title II compliance by 2027. Now, I'm obviously not going to advocate that we pay these people, but I wanted to bring it up because it talks about under ADA Title II, all town websites must meet WCAG accessibility standards by April 26, 2027. So we have a year to figure out what's required and how to meet it. So I figured, let's get it into the record here tonight. I can either give you this copy, David,
Sure.
and we can assign it to whoever would be somebody who helps us understand accessibility standards and make sure that we comply. So yeah, I thought, again, I'm not saying we need to hire them, but there's a deadline clearly that we need to meet. Okay, cool. That's all I have. Any other correspondence? No. Okay, cool. Public comments. Everybody who's
still on.
roasting chestnuts by the fire. Hal, go for it.
Hal Whitney, 20 Ogden Lord Road. Thank you, Susan, for pushing for that tutorial session on how to use ClearGov. I've been playing with it myself and learning a little bit about it, but it's still murky gov for me. I've been trying to correlate. I've got this spreadsheet that was handed out it's dated February 17th for the draft of the operating budget, and then I'm looking at the personnel budget. These are two spreadsheets, and I've been trying to correlate the information that I see on those spreadsheets. Where can I find that same information in ClearGov? I haven't figured that out yet, and that's what I'd be looking forward to hearing about this coming Monday. So thank you again. That's it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else? You can either raise your hand or just unmute. Not seeing anything. Yes, sir.
I just have one question. What is the correspondence email address or whatever that we would send correspondence to?
I think they're all on the website, but we each have one. So it's S. McFarland at Marlboro CT, L. Concadello at Marlboro
That's what I
CT.
thought.
So we each have one. Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you can always send it to David too.
Yeah,
And
if you send it to
say,
me and say.
please send
forward,
this to the Board of
then
Selectmen.
I'll forward it on to them.
Yeah, if you don't want to type them all out.
He'll know about it too.
Okay. Any other public comments? Going once? One place? All right, I see no hands, I'm going, and I hear no voices. Okay, motion to adjourn at a record 8:44 PM. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Louise, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a lovely evening, drive carefully.